Genshin cutscene.
You'll be in the Genshin cutscene by the end of this as well.
I didn't even have Twitch open, so this is a good start. I should have. Okay, yeah, we're live.
Nice.
Okay.
Yo.
We're even more prepared than usual
When
today.
it sees Brian erotic friend fiction reading, say, what the hell, Scoop?
What?
Oh, Scoop. Don't you know that's not safe for Twitch? Don't you know that's
I
not
mean, Twitch doesn't need to know. I mean,
You.
Twitch doesn't need to know.
So yeah, that's the start of the stream.
I'm looking at the title of you gave for the video, Harry. Mine should just say Chapter 9.
Oh, for what, the Mario show? I don't know. I can change it when I upload it. It's fine. Whatever.
Okay, folks, welcome to Storytime with Scrappy and Friends, episode 108, apparently.
Unless I miscounted.
My name is ScrappyFan92, and with me today are Harry, Pedriva, and Raideran. Now, hello. And normally we would start off with the Love Live Sunshine story, if only to say you're mine. But this month is actually a special month for me.
Yeah.
Because, 15 years and 11 days ago, I actually started the Super Mario Show and published it on fanfiction.net. So,
Yo.
yes, I'm as surprised as you are, and and I just decided to quickly write a bonus chapter for the story, just to kind of commemorate that event, because it is something I'm proud of. Like, I literally wrote this today, and it features a good portion of the characters over the past 8 other chapters. Yeah, and it's short. We're just gonna get into it, and I don't believe we had notified anyone in our audience yet, but Tanner is taking a sabbatical from Storytime at the moment to deal with personal issues. So I will be taking over his role as Luigi for the time being.
Indeed.
Indeed. Uh-oh.
Hello?
I thought he was
Hello?
just quiet for a second,
Yes?
but no,
Scrappy?
yeah.
Is
Did I
Scrappy...
go?
Oh, there we go. There.
Okay,
Hello.
I was gonna say, like, what was with the silence?
Yeah.
I was silent because I just had to catch my breath, and I was wondering why Harry's screen didn't have any gameplay footage. I had to refresh the page.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're not playing, Harry? Are you slacking?
No, he's Vigoroth.
I'm sorry, did you say Vigoroth, the Pokemon?
Yes.
Yeah, like slacking the Pokemon.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a while.
You see, I couldn't think of the name Slackoth. I was gonna say Slackoth because that definitely fits better for a joke.
Yeah.
But I could only think of Vigoroth. So know.
Close enough.
Slackoff just sounds like an insult.
Yeah.
You Slackoth.
Yes, exactly. Like, it sounds like that's the exact word you would use to refer to your douchebag coworker who never does his work on time.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
see
normally you
it.
just call him a slacker.
But the Slackoth, that's extra visceral.
Yes, I mean, it's self-explanatory. I'd hope I don't have to explain it to the audience here.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are with Chapter 9 of the Super Mario Show, and this is, as Harry kind of teased in the current title of the video, it's a bonus chapter. It's not the real episode 7. It's just a little bonus. Pardon me, I'm still a little under the weather. So.
It is.
I'm out of the cutscene, thank God!
And no, folks, you will not get context for what Raideran just said.
You're in the dark, and you will always be there.
Just like, please, cutscene end, please.
For real!
Obviously, Raideran is just fighting a Falco in Smash Bros.
Oh god.
Just gotta wait for
No,
that
I'm fighting a
cutscene
Kazuya.
to end. Yeah.
Oh wow.
You just got electric, and you just put the controller down, been waiting for the past 20 minutes.
Man,
And hit combo.
Dying to the jab, though? That's a little much, don't you think?
It's just like me, though.
I haven't thought about Ultimate in ages.
Man, that's crazy. I keep thinking about Ultimate now that Corrin is meta. Good times ahead for me.
I haven't kept up with any of that stuff for a while.
Mm.
As of the recording of this video, there's actually a spirit event, the final spirit event, I think.
Yeah,
so...
I heard about that.
I feel like I heard about the final Spirit event a few months ago, and it's like the second time I'm hearing of the final Spirit event.
Well,
Honestly, yeah. Did they like announce it super early or something, or?
They announced that there would be 4 spirit events for like the franchise's 25th anniversary. They just didn't reveal what the final event of the 4 would be until a few days ago.
Ah, okay. I think that makes sense. Think being the operating word, I don't know for sure, but I think so.
yeah, this game have like 2,000 spirits now.
It's well over 2,000, Harry.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Good lord.
Yeah, you can cross that bridge when you're forced to cross it.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the Super Mario Show, Chapter 9. Ain't no party like a Mario Party. Peach's castle was the site of a gathering none had seen since the last time it was the site of a gathering. Within the happy halls, a number of denizens of the Mushroom Kingdom were conversing at a party being thrown in Mario's honor.
So, anyway, I had to bail everyone out after Junior's latest stunt.
Peach recounted to a stunned Daisy and Wendy. My brother really admitted the game forgery on camera, Wendy said, her eyes rolling out of habit.
Is that me? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. Is that Peach?
Yes.
Okay.
Really, it was horrible but expected. It was more a matter of getting things sorted out with the police before Luigi had a panic attack.
Grayson the Shy Guy, ladling from a punch bowl, cringed at the mention of Luigi's name. Oh yeah, Luigi was the one who needed to be protected. Peach failed to pick up on the sarcasm, pardon me.
Yeah.
He's a sensitive soul, and I was worried about him.
She said, Daisy nodding alongside her. Miscreants, Grayson grumbled as he waddled away to the dance hall.
And he waddled away. Waddle.
Waddle.
Thank you, Harry.
Till the very next day.
Bowser Jr. was looking through the guest list, crossing off the names of those already present. Grayson, Wendy, Iggy, Jenny. Wario, Waluigi, Jenny. Kamek, Polterpup, Jenny. Hey, doofus! Where's my voice? Where's the Chocola Cola? Jenny's voice jabbed him, as it often did. Junior sighed and tapped the door of the mini-fridge to his left. A fake smile crept up the girl's face. Mask. Thank you. Junior rolled his eyes and walked off to find more guests. Meanwhile, in the living room, Mario was attempting to keep the peace between the partygoers. Waluigi, for the last time, get your bony elbows out of my face! Luigi's command came as he and Waluigi were tangled on a game mat, trying to get their hands and feet onto an arrangement of Koopa shell patterns.
That was Waluigi, right? It's been a while.
I
Yeah,
believe you
okay.
were.
Alright.
This much magnificence cannot be contained to 2 rows, fool! Waluigi was meant to encompass all!
Or was it Ted? Gosh darn it. Now, right around you were definitely Toadette. That I remember.
I'm gonna be mad honest. I only remember being the parasol.
Well, you're a Toadette now.
Toadette, who was crushed between the two, was about as enthused as Luigi was.
So this is Toadette?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
I'm figuring out a voice real quick.
You just used a variation of Toad's voice.
Or no voice.
Alright, here we go.
If you don't hurry up and move,
Oh
I'm
my
about to
God.
encompass my foot up your nose!
Anyway, Mario yelled hurriedly. Hey, what the next move is. He punched 2 dice blocks and landed on a 1 and a 5. Okay, Waluigi, left foot to a blue shell.
That's right, because blue shells only come to those in first place.
Waluigi stretched his left leg over Luigi and landed the tip of his shoe onto a blue shell space. Luigi winced, the smell of Waluigi's sock and all of its Waluigi-ness invading the sanctity of his nose. Yeah! Mario punched the dice blocks again and pointed to Yoshi. Okay, Yoshi, you'll head to a pink shell. Yoshi! Yoshi poked his head from the morass of bodies and scanned for his destination. Finding a target close to Toadette, he opened his mouth and extended his tongue to reel his way there. Instead, he yanked the entire mat and swallowed it whole, pulling the proverbial rug out from everyone else. Mario winced at the calamity and, when he opened one of his eyes to gauge the damage, was appalled at the wreck he saw before him. Luigi had gotten one of his legs tangled in Toadette's braids, and Waluigi had gotten his legs tangled up in all of his Waluigi-ness. Toad blew a whistle. Oh gosh.
Alright! The winner of this round is the pretzel formerly known as Waluigi. Wario, go get your friend so he can collect his prize! A trip to the hospital!
Wario grabs Waluigi by the foot and dragged him out the door, Toad following. Mario facepalmed. This is why he hated throwing parties. And they still had 16 turns left to go.
Poor Mario.
Poor Mario. Poor Waluigi. Hello?
I know what I said.
Bro got caught in himself. All Mario did was throw a party, and now he's suffering the consequences of of his own actions.
Oh gosh, the Scrappy fan is spreading.
The scrapisms.
The scrapisms. Whatever are we going to do? I'm becoming you, Scrappy.
You have my condolences. So I don't know about you guys, but that new voice actor for Luigi, man, he sounded sexy.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, gotta find his name, you know.
Gotta wait until the credits to find out.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, that was it. I was
Oh, that's
supposed to be like just 5.
okay.
Yeah, that was the full chapter. Yeah. Really nice and short.
I told you it was short. It's supposed to only be 500 words, but feature creep.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, you know what? I just find like the visual concept of like I saw the whole Luigi got his leg stuck in Toadette's like braids thing, and I was like, huh, that's funny. And then right after it was Waluigi stuck in his own Waluigi-ness. That got a good little chuckle out of me. I thought that was pretty funny.
He is a pretty lanky man. There's quite a
my
bit to
God.
tangle up. Tangle up.
Yeah, but the Waluigi pretzel, oh man.
Now available at Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
A Walu pretzel.
I mean, like a warm, soft pretzel with like some, I don't know, purple frosting sounds delicious.
Whatever the purple frosting is, you know, whatever it tastes like.
It's frosting. It's gonna taste like sugar.
What if it tastes like Waluigi himself, huh?
It's frosting. It never tastes like anything but sugar.
But what if? Okay.
It's amazing.
You never know. They could put something weird in that frosting to make it taste like human. But yeah. Oh. So that's everything for this chapter.
Yeah, I just wanted to do something quick to celebrate the anniversary of this story. Did not think I'd be doing it 15 years later.
Yeah, good.
Well, you got the Mario Party chapter done with. Unless you want to, continue the next 16 turns sometime down the road.
That's what the next chapter is. It's the rest of the game.
Yeah.
We got to know who wins now. You set us up. We have to know now.
Yeah.
Who is the superstar?
Yeah.
Scrappy.
Ask me again, 2027.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be great. At the end of that chapter, once they introduce who the superstar is, Wario's gonna come back to see that the party's over, and he's gonna say, "Do I missed?" It's gonna be the best part.
Oh, I
Wait.
missed.
Yeah. No, I missed.
Be right back and
yeah.
go write that down.
You're welcome, kind sir. But will he still have hold of that paper by the time 2027 comes around?
Good
I mean, if he's still writing this fanfic 15 years later, who knows how long he's actually going to have it?
That's true. It's just gonna be in like a little like thumbnail or not thumbnail, thumb drive. He's gonna be like, oh, what was this thumb drive for? It's gonna be like 2046 or something. He's gonna just pop it into his computer and be like, oh, that's a brilliant idea. Calls us up. It's been like 15 years since we last done one.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And he's like, I finished the chapter.
The story time reunion episode.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Episode where we read a story like, well, where we're all in the same room.
Honestly, that would go hard. So, are we ready to move on to the other thing we had planned, or?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't have any pithy commentary for my own work.
All right. I have it opened up now, so I'm just waiting for
Is
us
this
to
the
go.
first episode of Heads read this story?
No.
Oh, he was there for Road to Colorado Part 2. That's how he started voicing Peach.
No, I mean for the Love Life
talking
story,
about
not the
yeah,
Mario
no.
one.
I was here
Oh,
for a couple chapters of the Love Live story.
Okay.
Yeah, you were here for the first few.
I was Yoshiko's mom.
Oh,
there was
yeah,
also during one of the sessions, I did the narration as a joke.
yeah.
So yeah, I've been here for a bit. I think I just missed the previous one. That was basically it.
No, I think you missed
did one-
2. I think you missed
Okay.
2.
Yeah, what was the
Yeah,
last
chapter
thing you
6 is a while
remember?
ago. What was it? I think the last thing I remember was the when they had that like little party or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that might have been 2 ago then.
excuse me. Yeah,
Yeah, because I mentioned the wedding before before
I had
streaming.
no
He
clue
didn't
what
know
it
about
was.
that, and
Oh,
that was like
okay,
2
yeah.
chapters.
See, thing is though, he was playing Genshin. I thought he was talking about a Genshin wedding at first. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, true. There was that caveat too.
Yeah. He was just talking about how he was playing through like a Genshin story quest, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this is the wedding chapter." It's like a few seconds after that, and I was so confused.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready to start now.
my food's here, so it'd probably be best to start.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Previously on Previously, I just Yeah, that. Last episode, in If Only to Say Your Mind by Comment to the Top, Yoshiko got Hanamaru roped into a trip to meet her family because Yoshiko's cousin is getting married. And now Hanamaru's thinking that she's gotten in too deep to this whole fake relationship. And so now we're here.
Yep.
This is the wedding chapter, right?
They're doing like a rehearsal dinner, I think.
Oh yeah, who's to?
Damn,
Oh,
I lied to bed.
Wow, what do you know? Looks like I wasn't even out of the loop this time, buddy.
Did we ever decide who's taking over for Hanamaru?
I mean, I guess I am, right? That seems natural.
You filled in for Tanner already, so...
Okay.
And... Head, I guess you can voice like some of Yoshiko's relatives.
Yep.
Her Aunt Akemi, probably butchered that pronunciation, and Uncle Hajime.
Okie dokie.
And I shall be the great and powerful Yohane once more.
Huzzah.
So yeah, I guess we can start when you all are ready.
Yep.
Okay, I was gonna ask, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. Unsurprisingly, Hanamaru was once again agonizing over her outfit. Even as the gorgeous countryside blew past them through the car windows and catchy pop music found her ears, she couldn't help but fixate on her current appearance. I mean, even if the relationship wasn't exactly real, she was still meeting her girlfriend's entire family for the first time ever. First impressions mattered, her grandmother had always insisted. She couldn't go with something messy and give off the impression that she didn't care, so nicer clothes were a must, but she also couldn't overdress and appear pretentious. Likewise, she couldn't wear too revealing of clothes and ruin their perception of her as a good girl. That much was for Yoshiko's sake, but she also didn't want to come off as too conservative and stuffy. Hopefully the outfit she had finally settled on this morning, a sleeveless turtleneck, high-waisted plaid skirt, and long socks, would be sufficient. Still, she tugged at the edges of her skirt nervously, as if somehow the wrong choice of clothing would ruin the event entirely. She was so caught up in her own thoughts, in fact, that she barely registered the car slowing to a stop, the gorgeous countryside home looming large above them. Silence flooded the air between them as Yoshiko pulled the key away from the ignition.
Whoa.
Hanamaru breathed, looking up from her skirt.
Wait, is your family rich?
Yoshiko laughed, tilting her head to look at her.
Not particularly. I mean, the house is still really nice, but it's mostly because my great-grandparents inherited the house in the 20s from some other mildly wealthy relative. Well, as wealthy as one could be at that time.
She glanced up at the house, then back to Hanamaru.
It's been in the family ever since, I guess.
Hanamaru nodded, slightly embarrassed at her own outburst.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She could feel Yoshiko's eyes on her. It almost seemed to burn, but not in an unpleasant sense.
I'm sorry, who's voicing Hanamaru right now?
I am.
I think it was Red who did last, but okay.
It's all good.
Huh? Oh, no, I did it for a chapter when Tanner was missing.
Yeah, well, Tanner's now missing again, so, you know. But, I mean, it makes sense for me to be it since you're reading, so, you know.
Alright then, welcome to Hanamaru, voice number 3 in the same story. Okay. But not in an unpleasant sense. Hey.
Yoshiko said, her voice soft and low.
Look at me.
Against her better judgment, Hanamaru turned to meet her eyes. And just like that, Yoshiko was reaching toward her. Time seemed to slow as Hanamaru watched her movement. her heart beating faster and faster, her chest feeling tighter and tighter. What on earth was she planning to do? She blushed at the thought, but for a moment, Hanamaru almost thought that Yoshiko was about to kiss her for real. And just as nonchalantly as she always was, Yoshiko tucked a stray hair back behind Hanamaru's ear, her knuckles grazing against her skin as she pulled away.
You good?
Too afraid her voice would break if she did.
Seems right to me.
Too afraid her voice would break. Did she try to speak? That does not feel right. Hanamaru just nodded wordlessly. As they walked up to the door, she had to remind herself not to grab Yoshiko's hand. Before they could knock, however, the door swung open and the two were greeted by several similarly joyous faces, each all but squealing with delight and the sight of their newest guests.
Yoshiko!
The frontmost one, an older woman with just barely graying hair, exclaimed, pulling her into a warm-looking hug.
Oh, it's so good to see you. That college hasn't been working you too hard, has it?
Yoshiko grinned.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you too, Aunt Akemi.
Aunt Akemi ushered the other women behind her away, instead focusing all of her attention on the two before her.
Oh, and this must be the girlfriend I've been hearing so much about.
She beamed, pulling Hanamaru in for a quick hug.
It's so nice to meet you. Hanamaru, right?
Blushing slightly, Hanamaru nodded.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well, ma'am.
Yoshiko playfully bumped her shoulder, knocking her slightly off balance as she stole her attention.
It's just my aunt. It's just my aunt, babe. You don't have to worry about being so formal.
Pretending as if the use of the pet name Babe didn't just knock her off her axis, Hanamaru simply nodded once more, shoving down her feelings. Babe. 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 If she were acting noticeably weird, well, Aunt Akemi was polite enough to pretend not to notice.
Well, dinner probably won't be ready for at least another 20 or so minutes, so why don't you two go up to your room and settle in? Then you can meet us back down here later, okay?
As she stepped aside to let both Hanamaru and Yoshiko step across the threshold, she continued.
It's the one on the left, all the way down. You can't miss it.
Yoshiko rocked? Yoshiko walked right in without another word. But ever the people pleaser, Hanamaru stopped once again to thank their host.
Mrs. Tsushima, if there's... Akemi.
She corrected, still smiling.
Akemi.
Hanamaru continued.
Thank you so much for inviting us into your family's home. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know.
The older woman seemed amused by this.
Will do.
By the time Hanamaru had actually made it up to their room, Yoshiko was already unpacking her things. They were only staying for the weekend, so there weren't too many clothes to actually unpack. But Yoshiko had still managed to fill her bag to the brim with various technically unnecessary items. Her Nintendo Switch and all of its accessories being several of them.
That's mandatory, hello?
Yeah, I know, I bring my whole ass Switch home for the weekend.
Bring the whole setup, bring every single controller you have, even though there's only one other person who's probably gonna play with you, if that. Like, yeah.
Bring my 3 controllers home just so I can play with all of them.
Yeah, you never know. Like, maybe someone's gonna come over and, like, you'll have a tournament or something. You never have, like, you have to bring the whole thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hanamaru would probably laugh at her best friend's antics, were she not so wholly distracted by how her crop top lifted up ever so slightly when she was bent over. How pale her skin was.
Hey, Yoshiko?
She stammered, tripping over her own tongue.
Sorry, I just...
Luckily, Hanamaru wasn't given enough time to fully short-circuit, as an incredibly familiar face burst suddenly through the door, a wild grin painted on her lips.
Am I
And
doing
this
this one as well, or?
I cannot remember who voiced Yua in the last episode. It may have been me. I cannot remember. It was over a month ago, and I just have been out of it, honestly.
I feel like it was me.
All right, then. Yeah, have fun, Raideran.
OMG, Yoshiko, you finally made it! She squealed, running over to grab both of Yoshiko's hands. You absolutely have to come and say hi to my fiancé. He's so excited to meet everyone. After taking a moment to adjust, Yoshiko smiled up at her.
Oh, hey, Yua.
Yua glanced over at Hanamaru, excitedly grabbing her hand as well. Oh, Hanamaru, I'm so glad you could make it as well. Oh, Jamie's gonna be so excited that he actually gets to meet both of you. I mean, I've really been blabbering on and on about you guys since I found out you were dating. He's probably going to love to be able to put some faces to the names. Hanamaru smiled politely.
You look lovely today, Yua.
Yua simply paused, giving her skirt a little twirl. Aw, thanks, she beamed. I bought this whole outfit just for the rehearsal dinner, so I'm glad it's flattering. But seriously, you guys can unpack later, I promise. Just come on downstairs.
Oh, that
Yoshiko
emphasis.
Yeah, I don't
Hmm?
The emphasis is there.
Yeah. Downstairs. I
Check out
promise.
what's downstairs.
You just gotta come on downstairs. And unpack, of course, you know. You gotta do that later, but first, downstairs.
Well, check out what's behind door number 5.
Yeah. It's a brand new car.
Yoshiko rolled her eyes, but followed her cousin with a smile regardless. As the 3 girls ran down the stairs, they passed several people, each of which attempted to wrangle them in with a smile and a hello. Yet Yua, and by proxy the girl she had in tow, remained undeterred. None stopped to even breathe until they reached their destination, the dining room. Pausing from setting the table, a tall man with warm brown skin and gentle-looking hands glanced up to greet them, his eyes flooding with concern.
Yua, were you just running?
Slightly out of breath, Yua just laughed, forcing herself to stand upright from her hunched-over position. Jamie, this is my cousin Yoshiko, our brand new maid of honor, and her girlfriend Hanamaru. Hanamaru offered an awkward smile and a half wave, unsure what exactly to do in this situation. Yoshiko, slightly more in shape than Hanamaru had ever been, offered her hand to shake. Instead, Jamie began to grin instead twice. Instead, using the hand to pull her into a hug.
Nah, we're family now. Can't go shaking hands with family now, can we?
Yoshiko, ever the outgoing one of the two of them, delighted in this, squeezing him back just as hard.
Your Japanese is so good.
Hanamaru blurted out, immediately mortified that she had said her thoughts aloud rather than keeping them to herself.
I mean, have you always been fluent, or have you been studying for a while?
Jamie broke from his hug. Okay.
The hug of he was hugging Yoshiko earlier.
Yeah, I'm just not using not used to using broke in that context.
Yeah.
Or in this what is this? In this grammar structure. What?
Jamie just broke out from Yoshiko's grip, man. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, he broke out, like he was escaping prison. He was stuck in there.
Okay. Jamie broke from his hug, turning to meet Hanamaru's eyes.
actually, I started learning specifically so that I could, specifically so that I could impress you.
He explained, blushing slightly just at the mention of her.
I thought that she was the coolest person that I had ever met, and I really wanted her to like me. I went to the bookstore and bought a Japanese dictionary the day she gave me her number.
Yoshiko leaned against her, their shoulders bumping slightly.
Yua went to university in New York. Said she'd be a better translator if she actually spent more time around native speakers of other languages.
New York City?
Hanamaru's eyes turned starry.
I've always wanted to go, ever since that performance the Muse did in 2015.
Jamie chuckled.
Yeah, I've got a lot of great memories of that place. Especially considering that's the place that I ended up meeting the love of my life.
He looked to Yua, who seemed to be holding on to his every word with hearts in her eyes.
Maybe sometime you and Yoshiko could come to visit. We can make a whole trip of it together.
Yoshiko took her hand, squeezing lightly before Hanamaru could respond.
That sounds really nice. And Jamie, your voice sounds so much like mine. Thank you, Yoshiko. Well, hey, dinner's just about done, so why don't you all settle into your spots at the table while I call everyone else in?
Jamie suggested, gently rubbing Yua's shoulder.
Your mom's been doing a lot of work for this, so I just want to help in whatever way I can.
Yua seemed to melt at this comment, blushing slightly. Yua seemed to melt at this comment. Blushing slightly, she pressed a soft kiss to Jamie's mouth before moving to her seat, properly decorated with a fancy table card that read, Bride-to-be. Not even moments after they were sat, Hanamaru felt Yoshiko's knee brush gently against her own, only one measly layer of fabric between them. She could feel her palms getting sweatier by the minute. Yoshiko met her eyes, immediately noticing her discomfort. Even ignoring this weird thing they had going, she was still her best friend after all. Then, without a word, she laced her fingers into Hanamaru's own, lightly squeezing in what Hanamaru could only assume was her attempt at comfort and reassurance. Why wouldn't it help? Hanamaru worried that she was going to combust then and there.
Did you all hear my dog skittering across the floor?
No.
No, I didn't hear anything over my own voice.
Yeah,
Okay,
too
then,
conceited to hear that.
Alright, well, my dog didn't skitter across the floor. I'm just was wondering.
All right.
All
so-
right.
You're just checking to make sure we don't hear random things that we're not supposed to hear. I understand. Yeah. Keeping our mental health in check. So
What a gracious host.
yeah.
I've heard Discord notification sounds when I've been outside, so
Dude, I'll be listening to music and I swear I hear the Discord sound in some songs.
I just be walking out in town or something, and I just hear bloop in my head for no reason.
Oh, I'm so happy I don't have that problem. There have been some times where I think I'm going insane, but I check back and it actually did play, and that's what really shocks me, to be honest.
There's one song where I've just accepted it. It's one specific song, and I always hear it in the same spot, and I've just accepted it. I don't remember what it is. I think it's Narrowism.
That's a fun name.
I know.
Narrowism.
Alright. Champagne flute?
A kindly-looking older gentleman offered, holding out his tray.
No thank you.
Hanamaru racked her brain for a quick lie.
I don't particularly like the taste. I'm sorry.
In all reality, champagne was one of her favorite drinks. It made her feel classier than she, a broke college student, really was. And yet the idea of drinking in front of even Yoshiko now, let alone her entire extended family, was terrifying. What deep-laid secrets would she reveal if she allowed herself to let down her inhibitions even for a moment? It wasn't a thought she liked to entertain. So, no drinks. Instead, she forced herself to focus back on the conversation at hand.
So, how's college life treating you?
The older man asked, the same warm yet polite smile she had seen on everyone here plastered on his face. This was Uncle Hajime, Yua's dad, Hanamaru thought, though she had met so many people tonight that she could hardly remember who was who.
I hear it's getting pretty expensive these days.
Yoshiko nodded.
Well, Hanamaru's here on scholarship, so she's smart. But I've been making I've been making ends meet by streaming on Twitch on the weekends.
Hey.
The whole school idol turned gaming streamer really seems to work for people, I guess.
Do you think Yoshiko plays like 10 straight hours of Apex Legends every weekend, or you think she's more of a League person?
I was going to make a witty comment about VTubers, but I'm not witty enough to make a comment about VTubers.
Hey, there's already a Love Live VTuber group out there, you know.
There's a whole set of Kimono Friends VTubers.
See, if it's popular enough, it's gotta have a VTuber eventually.
Uncle Hajime chuckled.
Well, I'm not too sure what all this new internet stuff is, but as long as you're happy and doing well for yourself, then I'm proud of you, kid.
This seemed to warm Yoshiko's heart.
Thanks, Uncle. Now your outfit, however.
He said, eyeing her clothes suspiciously.
Well, I've seen plenty of plaid pants in my day. I'm no geezer. But black and white? Where's the color? And your jacket is so short. How is that supposed to keep you warm?
Hanamaru looked nervously between the two, but Yoshiko, knowing well enough that he was pulling her leg, simply rolled her eyes with an amused smile.
It's May, Gramps. I don't need to stay warm. You're just mad that that I'm out here looking better than you.
Uncle Hajime feigned indignance.
Gramps? I'll have you know that I am a healthy 51 years old.
Yoshiko playfully poked at his shoulder.
Old man.
He shook his fist in the air at her.
All these youths today, why I oughta...
Yoshiko blinked slowly, the drink in her glass sloshing a bit.
Ooh, oh dear, I think I'm getting a little too tipsy. Oh.
She turned to look at Hanamaru, leaning ever so slightly toward her.
Is it cool if I head off to bed? You can stay down here if you want, I just really don't want to have a hangover tomorrow.
Hanamaru nodded.
No, I think it's about time I head to bed as well. It's getting kind of late.
Closing her eyes, Yoshiko nodded slowly, now fully on Hanamaru for support.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Then, as if she could sense that they were leaving, Yua sprinted up to them, her demeanor as bright and bubbly as ever, despite the late hour. If Hanamaru was sleepy before, she sure wasn't now. Oh hey, before I forget, are you two coming to my bachelorette party tomorrow? Hanamaru looked to Yoshiko, who seemed to have immediately brightened up at the thought. It's not going to be like this huge formal thing, Yua continued. Like, there's no dress code or anything. We're just gonna go out to this club that's not too far from here and go drinking and dancing and stuff. It should be really fun. Yoshiko knew full well the anxieties that Hanamaru faced in social situations, especially loud, dimly lit social situations like a dance club. She didn't want to force her into something that would make her uncomfortable like that, but she hadn't been out dancing since the night that started this whole thing. She was really starting to miss it.
Do you want to go?
Hanamaru asked softly. Yoshiko met her eyes.
Not if you don't want to.
That was confirmation enough for Hanamaru. As nervous as the situation would make her, she wasn't about to stop Yoshiko from doing something fun with her favorite cousin just because of her. Instead, she put on a brave face, smiling up at Yua.
It sounds like fun. When should we be ready?
Yua attempted, unsuccessfully, to contain her joy, physically bouncing at the thought. Tomorrow night, sometime around 9? We don't want to be out so late that we're too tired for the ceremony Sunday, but we're still gonna have a good time. Promise. Yoshiko, clearly excited, could hardly contain her grin.
Okay, well, we're about to head off to bed, but we'll see you in the morning?
Hanamaru asked. Yua nodded quickly, like a bobblehead without a battery. Alright, I'll see you two lovebirds tomorrow. Then a knowing look entered her eyes. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, Yosh.
Hey, yo.
Hanamaru couldn't help but blush at the insinuation. Yoshiko, however, just playfully rolled her eyes, already too sleepy to come up with much of a clever comeback.
Whatever, loser.
Yua blew her a kiss. Love you! Oops,
What, did you accidentally like scroll and lose your place?
I accidentally hit my spacebar, yeah.
Oh. Happens to the best of us.
Even Hanamaru chuckled at this, slowly becoming more comfortable with the family's whole dynamic.
Your family, they all seem really nice.
Yoshiko nodded, smiling softly to herself.
Yeah, they are, huh?
They didn't talk much as they made their way up to their room, each step feeling agonizingly taller and longer than the last as they had trudged up the stairs, sleep increasingly creeping up on them as time passed. Hanamaru could have sworn that she hadn't felt this tired earlier, and yet she now felt as if she could genuinely pass out at any second, especially with Yoshiko leaning her entire weight against her like that. The second their door was shut behind them, Yoshiko dropped her jacket onto the floor, making quick work of her boots and pants. With her back to Hanamaru, she slipped her bra from underneath her shirt, flinging it haphazardly across the room, with no regard to where it might end up. Hanamaru, on the other hand, remained firmly planted in front of the door, unable to tear her gaze from her friend's back. She couldn't see anything, just a few inches of skin between where her shirt ended and her underwear began. But she couldn't help but stare, her cheeks burning a ferocious shade of red. Did I say that right? Ferocious? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I said ferocious shade.
Pharaoh shade of red.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
Right? I was thinking the same thing like Ferrothorn. Oh, like a dark type regional variant.
Oh, we're geniuses. That's gonna be in Gen 10.
Ferocious shade. Ferocious shade is what? Steel Dark?
Yeah.
The fact that we're approaching double digits for Pokemon generations makes me feel so frickin' old.
Right? Oh my god.
For a second, I thought we were
3.
already there.
Not yet. Not yet.
I started with Gen 3 and I never thought it would hit Gen 10 in my lifetime.
I started with 4.
I see, look at you, Zoomer.
Sure am. It was a good thing it was dark in here, otherwise she would have been found out for sure. They used to change in the same room when they were younger all the time, both when they were kids and when they were changing outfits between sets for Aqua performances, but this felt different, more intimate. When she finally turned back, Hanamaru quickly averted her gaze, but Yoshiko seemed to pay her no mind, simply collapsing onto the carefully made queen-sized bed inside the room. She was snoring within seconds. Hanamaru peered forward, confirming that Yoshiko was in fact asleep. She had never known Yoshiko to be able to fall asleep that quickly. The alcohol must have really affected her. Quickly changing into her own pajama shorts, Hanamaru climbed into bed beside her, careful not to make any sound to wake her. With her face inches away from her own, Yoshiko looked almost peaceful like this. Her tiny nose pressed against the pillow, letting out tiny little snores every few seconds. It was incredibly cute. Definitely impossible to ignore. How Hanamaru was going to be able to sleep knowing that was right beside her, she had no idea.
When all this ends,
She whispered.
please don't hate me, okay?
Heart aching, she flipped onto her side, refusing to allow herself another look at Yoshiko's sleeping face. It wouldn't end well for her, allowing herself even a moment more of the most beautiful thing that she will never ever really get. It would hurt too much. Instead, she closed her eyes and willed herself to fall asleep so that morning would come as quickly as possible. And then something soft poked into the back of her hair, breathing warm, steady breaths onto the crook of her neck. Hanamaru froze. Wasn't she just falling asleep? She was still snoring, so she couldn't be awake, but she had definitely moved. She had. Yoshiko shifted again, her hand now falling limp against Hanamaru's waist. No, she was definitely asleep. She probably just shifted slightly. That was normal. Well, it was certainly more comfortable being held like this, and Yoshiko was still asleep, so Hanamaru couldn't be faulted for not wanting to wake her to have her move. Suddenly an eye. I mean, there was nothing wrong with some nighttime cuddles among friends anyways. People move all the time in their sleep. She still felt a twinge of guilt, allowing for herself to even have this when she didn't know if Yoshiko felt the same way, but it was just one thing. She could allow herself to have this one thing, this one time, right? Right?
Right? And that's the end of the chapter. Woo!
Well done, everyone.
That felt faster than the last.
That previous chapter must have felt pretty long then, because this kind of... I was like, whoa, we got two whole scenes in this one. It kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
This might be to date, is probably, I think, one of the longer chapters of this story.
Yeah, that
which
did
is
feel
still
longer than
not
the
saying much, but
It did feel longer than the other ones.
That's... yeah.
again, the prose just feels right.
Yep.
I think I just read better.
Yeah, it did go pretty smoothly.
Without a doubt.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading Scoop's comments on.
Oh,
My gosh.
Bro really said, call me an anime titty because I'm bouncing out of my seat.
This is the kind of stuff Scoop always posts in chat. It's normal for him.
Yeah, I
Classic
see the
Scoops.
previous comments as well. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, what can I say?
I didn't even notice that first one.
Dude, no.
Anyway.
Even if I'm not streaming, Scoop will just be in the chat, just
randomly.
posting random stuff.
Honestly, that's the best. I love that.
Scoop could be in my chat posting random stuff, and I would never notice because I don't look at my chat.
Dang, that's crazy.
I usually have OBS open, so I just sometimes sometimes I would just load it up and like just see a bunch of Scoop messages out of nowhere.
Sounds exciting.
That's like your daily gacha pool. Do you get an SSR Scoop comment or not?
Like to
That's
be honest with you, I'm surprised he hasn't done that during an LP session yet.
knows to keep those civil.
Civil being the relative term, being a relative term. So yeah, I enjoyed the chapter. I don't think I have anything. Unfortunately, I don't think I have anything particularly novel to say. Partly because I'm hungry, but it was a fun chapter, and you're starting to see the. I'm seeing where like the dramatic heft is coming in.
Yeah.
I think this chapter is the one where I feel the most just kiss already.
I'm not even sure if Hanamaru would. Hanamaru doesn't even know what she wants yet. Poor Hanamaru.
It will definitely get. I don't. How many chapters is this again?
10, I believe.
And this is chapter what?
6.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, this. I guess it's because I was reading it as it was coming out, but I remember the story being a lot longer than this. I don't know why.
This is completed. If they don't kiss by the end of this, I'm gonna scream.
They do a bit more than that.
Hey yo, let's go. I mean, to be honest, the way that this chapter was progressing, you felt like it could have gone that way too. So I mean, I'm not even gonna judge.
Now, Ped. Yoshiko's a little drunk.
Yeah.
Hey, Yoshiko's the one who's aggressing. Hello?
It's a little not say so.
Yeah.
Hanamaru would be stun locked. She isn't gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Yoshiko's a Twitch streamer. Hello? Say so.
Yeah, say
I
so.
was gonna say that this is the story where there's a chapter that gets a little bit risque. So it's one of those things where like depends on what Scrappy wants to do with that.
Scrappy needs to actually read ahead next time, just so we're all on the same page.
Well, I mean, the rating is still teen and up, so
Yeah.
I'd have to assume, it's not that bad.
Well, that's for me to find out, because I haven't read to the end of the story yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed this. Thank you, Harry, for your...
Literally been on this this level the entire time.
This
and I
level
love it.
is impossible!
I think you were doing this level last session.
At the end of it, probably.
For you. So I enjoyed this chapter. Good dramatic heft. I like Yoshiko's extended family. Excuse me. And yeah, just a little detail of Yoshiko being like basically an internet streamer that makes perfect sense for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she was already an internet streamer, but just becoming a pro gamer, that makes sense.
Yeah. Maybe she'll do an occasional just chatting stream,
Hey, she never said she's a pro gamer.
Yeah, she just said she was a Twitch streamer, so for all we know, she could just be doing just chatting streams every single day, Maybe doing a couple of those like divinations that she used to do. Yeah.
Hell, you don't even have to be pro gamer to be an idol streamer.
Honestly, it's probably better that you're bad at the game.
I mean, legitimately, there was like some quasi-goth, like, what's the word? Quasi-goth or elegant gothic Lalita, former idol streamer, that have a following. That would absolutely have a following in real life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And it wouldn't even be like a small following. It would be like these people treat her like a deity kind of following.
Sounds about right. So, yeah, I enjoyed it, and yeah, I'm interested to see how the rest of the story progresses. And yeah, good job, Raider Man, for narrating. Thank you, Pedriva, for coming back in and sliding in, even though you have only partial context for the story now.
Sliding into those DMs.
Hey, I got enough context, Like, sure, I may not have known who this Yua chick was before this little session, but she seems like a pretty swell individual.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's about you nailed her characterization.
They need to just kiss already.
Patience, Yago.
I mean, to be honest with you, that is like half of the reason I read this is because funny premise. The other thing is like, yeah, just kiss already.
Scoop, you gotta provide context for that comment? Do I want context?
Scoop never has context.
He just he'll just say the most outlandish thing. You just kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
Hell, I tell him the most outlandish things sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If I sound tired, it's because I am. I've actually been, like, nodding off to sleep randomly for, like, most of the week.
Mm.
Like, this is what adulting is like, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep. It sure is.
So, yeah, that's about all I have. I was about to say I enjoyed both stories. Like, I'd hope I enjoyed the story I wrote, but...
Yeah.
I would hope you do.
I know there are some people who hate everything they make, so it wouldn't have even shocked me.
Yeah.
If just like at the end of this, you were like, yeah, man, my chapter was trash, just wrote it today, pretty bad. It didn't get to peer review it or anything, man.
Man.
Actually, I thought my entire story was garbage. I'm glad it's over with.
J.R.R.
Yeah, I would just be happy to-
The Lord of the Rings.
I would just be happy to finish writing something again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to show you still got it.
Did I ever have it?
That's a
Maybe.
good question,
Good question.
And you know what? Times like this, I'm glad I'm just a writer and not an artist, because I like a drawing artist. That would
Yeah.
feel like, to some degree, the self-critique is even worse.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I think if you're in a creative field, you have to at least be satisfied with 85% satisfaction, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You gotta sometimes you have to tap out at 85%, or else it'll never be done. So yeah, I enjoyed.
Damn it. That didn't work.
I enjoyed the story, the Love Live story. I enjoyed writing my Mario story, and yeah, we'll continue with other things. We'll probably just finish this story up in another month, and go on from there. We actually have to try and see. We had suggested a Homestar Runner story next. I guess we'll have to try and get casting settled for that.
Yeah, you wanted like one short thing before like the next big story or whatever.
Yep. So we'll see how that pans out. We'll have to do some casting, especially given we're down a person right now.
Oh, it's gonna be really funny hearing Homestar voices.
Oh, I'm gonna have to brush up on my Homestar knowledge. I really only remember the way that Strong Bad sounds.
I'm
can
probably
remember
not gonna look into Homestar Runner.
I know how some of the characters sound because I played a demo of like the
game.
adventure game from Telltale.
Oh, Strong
Yeah,
Bad
so did
game
I.
for attractive people, whatever.
Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played like an hour-long free trial of that on the PlayStation 3 back in the day.
Yeah, me too. Mine was Dangerous. That was hilarious.
Dangerous.
So that's why I keep calling Coach Z Ronaldo, because they were just filming a movie.
Oh, Coach C's amazing. Good job.
Yeah, my brain is empty. I think we're done.
So,
Empty.
No thoughts,
Like-
head empty.
all right. Well, I guess we'll reconvene within a week or
10
so.
10 years.
Now we'll just follow it up with another stream tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
You're gonna what?
Harry's gonna have a good time, like practicing self-care. So
I mean, considering
Thank you.
like you've been dying lately. What would that even?
Harry
How would that
extended
even
fanfic.
work, Scoop?
Oh, it'd be saucy, you know. If any of us had to read it, we'd have to do like a really deep, sensual voice with a very fake British accent.
What do you mean? How would it work, Harry? It's simple. Someone else plays, you read.
Oh my
That
God.
too.
And it's written just like any other character X reader fanfic.
Yeah.
That would be so bad. What would that even be about? Like,
Obviously, it's about someone else recording a Let's Play episode for you, you know? And you're like, wow,
Obviously,
okay,
it's a
thanks.
story about someone comforting you during your level 1 cage tour.
oh no!
Put a pin in that. I think I have an idea for episode 200 now.
Oh Jesus Christ! No!
Oh, let's go!
We keep giving them ideas.
And you will not be
There's our
credited for any of them.
Oh no!
Is this what I signed up for? No credit for my ideas?
Yep,
Oh,
you know,
this
we're all a
is-
committee here.
So, yeah, I guess that's the note we're gonna leave off on. Leave off with? I don't know. So, yeah. Have a good night, everyone, and happy 15th anniversary to my own story.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye!
Calm down, there, Scoop.
So long, Bowser.